Hello, hello. I am so excited to be going live on another Monday. Monday, everybody talks about Monday being the hardest day of the week. I actually really like it. To me, it feels like rejuvenation, it feels like new things. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's really energizing. So hopefully your Monday is going well and you are feeling energized as well. Today's topic is one that a lot of people struggle with, especially when they're first starting out. You know, have you scrolled Instagram this week, seen somebody else celebrating their $10,000 months or a freelancer with the perfect client roster? And, you get left thinking, why bother? They're so far ahead of me. I'm never going to catch up. But here's the truth is that comparison kills your business before you even get started. So today I want to talk about flipping the script on comparison and comparisonitis. I'm going to show you why being further ahead is kind of a lie and why your experience is actually an advantage, how to compete in a way that makes you irreplaceable. Now, I'm not a huge fan of competition or even thinking about competition or competing, but the reality is that we are all in competition with what other people think is an alternative. So when I talk about competition, I want you to think about it in that way that every client is going to come forward and be considering lots of different options. So let's talk about the idea of comparison and why it becomes a trap. Why do we compare social media, right? That's like one of the worst places because everything looks pretty and everybody is on a highlight reel 24/7. And we're also wired to assess where we stand in the pack. That's kind of like how we socialize and how we think about ourselves socially is that we are part of a group that gets assessed together in terms of our progress. And freelancing is in particular a place where competition can feel really high, especially when you're first starting out, because you're still defining yourself and you're still defining your services, and you haven't quite figured out how you compare or where you stand in the pack. And so this can really get you right. And even I've done it even when I've been years in. Sometimes if I go out, start to look at other people who are doing something similar, I get this kind of like, oh, I should just give up. Right. Or, oh, why am I doing this when everyone else is so much further ahead? But it's not true. And when we do this, we get into this paralysis and we'll stop pitching clients because someone better exists, or we'll get this imposter syndrome where you undercharge because you think that they're going to look at someone else and they're going to think, oh, I would rather pay more for them, but the only way I can compete is on price. Or we have these missed opportunities where you say no to projects that you're actually really qualified for, but you know we want to, it's our brain kind of going, well, you might as well stop before someone can reject you, right? Like there's that whole dialogue going on as well. And it also creates this real energy drain. Like we're spending time stalking our competitors instead of actually serving our clients and really focusing on, what we need to build our business. But here's the big reality check. Your potential clients are not comparing you to that influencer with 50,000 followers. They're asking, who can solve this problem for me right now? And can this person do that? They want the personal connection, and they're not getting a personal connection like that from somebody who's, posting highlight reels all the time. So just remember that all of this is your brain kind of going, I'm going to keep you safe by making you fearful of something. And this is very fear driven. It's our fear of rejection. It's our fear of being judged. It's our fear of, imperfection and all of this kind of stuff, right? So let's talk about some of these myths that come up. So this whole myth around, oh, they're further ahead than me. So the lie there is that success is linear, that they started before you, so you'll always be behind them. And the truth is that everyone starts at zero. Ahead is really subjective. Like ahead in what? Followers, revenue, happiness? You don't know. They have different timelines, but that doesn't mean that they have different destinations, right? So you could be on the road to something similar, but you're going to go on your own path. That person that you compared yourself to, they're comparing themselves to someone else, and you are not behind. So the reframe is that you're on your own timeline, you're on your own unique path. Everybody starts at some point, right? And they end up going in different directions. You have your own unique way there. You're going to find your own unique way of selling and representing yourself. And their timeline, you don't know what influenced that, right? You don't know how much money they spent on advertising. You don't know if they had the leg up of a referral or an introduction to someone else's audience. You don't know, and it doesn't matter, right? Their time was their timeline, their experience was their experience. You have your own, right? You've got to stick to that. So the second myth of they're more experienced than me. Here's what the lie is. Here's what our brain tells us. Years of experience means better service. But the truth is that some clients specifically want fresh perspectives, not the way it's already been done. And so you coming in, also, just because you're starting your business doesn't mean that you are a novice in the service, right? You may have years and years of experience and you're just starting now to offer your services in a different way. But some clients really do want someone who's going to think differently and who's going to have a new, fresh perspective. Also, you being new means that you're hungrier, you're more responsive, you're more innovative, and that's going to be really attractive to a lot of clients. In terms of the skills, like you can learn them, you can figure all that stuff out. You already have experience, you already have work ethic, you already have the desire to do it. So don't discount that. Also, experience doesn't mean results. There are a lot of freelancers out there who are experienced and have actually gotten into really bad habits or don't deliver excellent work, right? And then there are some that do. The whole point here is that just because they've been around for a while doesn't mean they do a better job. So here's the reframe. You're not inexperienced. You are new to business, but you've got experience and you're adaptable and you're eager and you're bringing that beginner's mindset to all of the problem solving that you're going to be doing. Third myth is that they're more confident. The lie that we tell ourselves is that confidence comes first and then success. The truth is that confidence is a result of action. It's not a prerequisite. And if you've been in any of my programs, if you hung out in our community, you will know that our 3 pillars of success is decide and commit, take consistent action, and stay supported. That action is where the confidence comes from. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. And if you don't believe me, you're going to stay spinning. So the more action you take, the quicker you take action, the more confident you're going to become. That person that you're seeing out there that seems to be ultra confident, they were faking it too at some point in time. They were, I hate the word faking it, fake it till you make it, but it's more like they stepped forward without having ultra confidence at some point in time. We all started somewhere and we all had to do the thing and show up in sales calls and show up, talking to clients before we felt entirely certain. This now is just part of my process. I know how important it is to just start taking action in order to get the answers and the confidence, and the confidence comes from clarity. To get that clarity, I have to start doing something. I have to take action. So now this is just something I do right away. So that confidence that you think that they have, that comes from time, it comes from taking action. And honestly, clients are not hiring you because you're ultra confident. They're hiring you because you're competent and you are reliable. And that means a lot more to them. Every one of these people was a terrified beginner at some point in time who did it anyway. And that's what you need to do too. So the reframe is that you don't need the confidence to get started. You need the courage to take the first step and not be bothered by what happens. You're taking a first step So you get better information. You're either going to get the outcome you thought you were going to get, or you're going to get a different outcome. And either way, you've got better information. You're closer to where you want to be. Take that first step. Your confidence will follow. Believe me on this. The fourth myth is that you'll never be able to compete. The lie we tell ourselves is that there's a fixed number of clients and the good ones are all taken. Oh, that's so untrue. Here's the truth. The market is massive. There are more than enough clients for all the freelancers out there and for people to serve them. You don't need to compete. You don't need to compete with anybody. There's literally no point in it, right? And you are always going to be assessed against other alternatives. And other alternatives may be another person, but it also very well may be a different strategy that they take, right? So you just don't know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, trust me on this one. It doesn't matter. Stay focused on yourself, eyes on your own paper. Figure out who you are and spend your time and energy figuring out who you want to be, leaning into that, developing yourself. You don't need to compete with everybody. Just connect with your people. Just connect with the ones that, can lift you up. Trust me when I say your unique combination of skills and personality and approach, that's your competitive edge. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Clients choose you because you have a connection. You're a fit. It's not credentials. It's not the things on your resume. It is your connection to them. And by the way, not everybody is going to be a fit. So you're going to have sales calls that don't turn into anything. You're going to have sales calls that are like you and this person are totally a fit and you hit it off. And then you're going to have some where you're going to work a little bit of going back and forth and trying to figure it out, but that's fine. Just focus on yourself. I couldn't even tell you who my competitors are because I don't care. Seriously, I don't care. It doesn't offer anything for me to focus on that, honestly. So the reframe is you're not competing. You're connecting with the right clients who need exactly what you offer, and that is all that you need to worry about. So how do we shift this mindset from comparison to focusing on yourself? First of all, we need to define what your version of success looks like. You have to stop measuring yourself against what other people say are goals, and you got to be clear on what you want to achieve. So what do you actually want? Maybe it's not $10,000 months. Maybe it's flexibility. Maybe it's the creative work. Maybe it's like 20 hours a week of work and still, being able to sustain yourself. Create your own kind of scoreboard, like KPIs based on your values and what you want. And you got to celebrate those wins when they happen, no matter how small they seem or if they're out of alignment with what everyone else does. You got to focus on you. And if you're going to go out and look at what other people are doing, use it as market research, not self-torture. So when someone says they're ahead, or when you think someone's ahead, ask, what can I learn from their approach? There's a couple of people who are offering services like I do. Not really the same, but kind of in the same conversation. I look at them and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, how can I actually evolve my service and my offers to fill that space as well? So if you're going to study them, study their messaging, study their services, study their pricing, see what they're doing, and adapt yourself. Maybe you'll even look at some of the things they're doing and say, I don't want to be that. Like, that's just as good information as I want to do what they're doing. Follow those people who inspire action, not inadequacy. And then unfollow, mute the accounts that you find are triggering those sort of comparison spirals. Your third strategy is to lean into what makes you different. What you're calling inexperience is actually going to give you fresh ideas and enthusiasm. And so you're looking for the people who are looking for fresh ideas and enthusiasm. Your personality, how you connect with somebody, is the number one reason that clients will choose you over someone else. And if you have niche interests, if you have some unique positioning, or you have experience where you understand e-commerce and you love true crime podcasts, like something like that is going to create this connection. So your story and relatability is what builds trust. So for example, a new VA who specializes in helping overwhelmed moms might connect better with an audience than a 10-year veteran who's never experienced that struggle. That is the thing that is going to make people say yes to you. It is not, a resume of a whole bunch of credentials. Finally, I want you to focus on progress as opposed to perfection. I've been evolving my business for 20 years, literally 20 years, and it's going to keep evolving. We get stuck in this mentality that you have to arrive somewhere, and it's totally untrue. Business is a continuum. Business is an evolution. And as soon as you accept that and recognize that it'll just keep evolving, it takes this pressure off of thinking, I have to get here. So compare yourself to you 3, 6, 12 months ago. Like, focus on your small wins. I got my first client, my first testimonial, my first referral. And like, tease those out and figure out what else you can do that gives you that same result. And measure your effort and your consistency. Consistency is what's going to find you clients. Okay. And and sometimes people find that hard because they put so much pressure on themselves to have been successful in whatever it is that they were trying out. And if it doesn't work the first time or the second time, then they say, oh, that's it. It's just not going to work. But the consistency and keeping on is what's going to get you the clients that you're looking for, not if you keep stopping. And remember, every person that you admire was once exactly where you are right now. They all had to get through all of this. So let's recap. Comparison isn't just the thief of joy. It's the thief of your business and your momentum and the future of your clients. The person you're comparing yourself to, they're not your competition. Your competition is the voice in your head telling you that you're not ready. And that voice is lying. So right now, I want you to do something radical. I want you to think of one person you've been comparing yourself to. Now, instead of going and like stalking their feed, I want you to take one action towards your goals in the next 24 hours. Post your service offering, send a pitch, update your rates, whatever it is that you want to show up as, not as a cheaper version of someone else, but you. Your dream clients, they're not looking for the most experienced, most polished, most professional, confident freelancer. They're looking for someone who gets them, shows up consistently, delivers results. And that could be you today. Not when you're ready, not when you're better, today. Okay. Thank you for showing up today. We spent almost 20 minutes together. That's okay. This is a topic that comes up every single time. You are unique. People want that. So comparing yourself to other people it's just an energy drain, and it doesn't help you in any way. Go back to you, spend your time on you, focus on you, and focus on making you show up to the people that you want to sell to. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you're going to do next, and commit to taking an action that's going to move you forward rather than staying stuck in that vicious cycle. Okay. See you next week.